this is going to be a little bit of Jewish eco-poetry. So the eco-poetry, I mean, it's obviously, what it is very descriptive, it's poetry that has to do with. And so I did promise that you would also write your own poem by the end of this, even if you never wrote a poem before.
What about if I write it in Hebrew?
You can do it in whatever language you want. So I'm
Okay.
giving everybody a piece of paper. Eco-poetry, in essence, it's mostly just eco-poetry, but it's written by people who are Jewish, and sometimes there's hints of Judaism, but that's.
I don't consider myself Christian, I'm a mutt.
You're a mutt.
I'm a
Mutts,
yo-yo person.
mutts are welcome too.
So,
All
all
people,
welcome.
no matter where you're coming from, are welcome.
Katie, Rob has a question.
Yes,
I don't really know what eco-poetry means.
so it's poetry.
Yeah,
And the eco is just like, it has something to do with the ecosphere.
okay.
And that's the sort of baseline that we're coming from. I started writing poetry. I mean, I'd written a little on and off, but a year or two ago, I got really more serious about it. And this spring, I had the good fortune to take a class with Hila Ratzabi, who's going to share one of her poems, who's a poet and writer and editor, and I have one of her books, but it was about Jewish eco-poetry, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that I need to do that, because that's like what I'm doing, a lot of what I'm doing. And so it was fantastic and wonderful and amazing, but she apparently is the one who's really sort of coined that phrase and really been promoting this idea of Jewish eco-poetry. So, but if you look at your handout, so some of the things that I'm sharing with you, some, but not all, I got from her, learned from her, learned a huge amount. It was an amazing class. But I start off with just a little tidbit of a psalm, which is really the psalm for Rosh Chodesh, for the new year, for the new month, but which it's a long poem filled with imagery of nature. So let's take turns reading, so I don't do all the reading. And would you like to start this Psalm 104? You want to just read it?
Do you want me to read just one line or do the whole
You can
thing?
just read the whole thing, yeah.
Oh, okay. Bless the Eternal One, O my soul. You make springs gush forth in torrents. They make their way between the hills, giving drink to all the wild beasts. The wild asses lack their thirst. The birds of the sky dwell beside them and sing among the foliage. You water the mountains from your lofts. The earth is sated from the fruit of your work. Bless Yah, O my soul. Hallelujah.
I mean, isn't that like gorgeous?
Who translated that?
That is from the JPS contemporary translation, I think it's called. Anyway, yeah, so it's one of the JPS ones. Anyway, it's beautiful, right? I mean, it's just like these incredible things, and it goes on like that through the poetry. So this is like the first Jewish eco-poetry, really, it was, or the first eco-poetry. I mean,
Did you write this?
This
You
is
didn't
Psalm
write-
104.
No, this is Psalm of David.
Psalm.
In these words?
This is really the
Wow.
Psalm of David.
That's why I asked what translation, because I hadn't seen it in that.
In those words. No, yeah, it's not my translation. And I could double check exactly which one it is for you, but this whole idea of just, sort of lyrical words about the natural world are as old as, our traditions. So, so that's just to kind of put us in context. Everything else I'm sharing with you is modern. All these other poets are living. So that the next one is by Sabina Messeg, and she is Israeli, and she's considered sort of the mother of Israeli eco-poetry. So she's been writing and sort of being very close to the earth in lots of ways for a long time. And I think she's quite a bit older. She's not like young. She's, I I forget
She's
exactly.
probably my age,
She's like
and I'm older.
between our age somewhere in there,
So
so.
her original Hebrew is on.
This is,
the-
yes, and so the English is a translation, not hers. This is the translation, and I should have written who translated it and I didn't, but, Gabi, you want to read the Hebrew?
Sure. אושר, לא רואים את עמודי האוויר, מחזיקים את חופת השמיים. הכל, אבל מתחתן כאן, הכל עם.
Okay, and Debbie, you want to read the English?
You do not see the columns of air holding the canopy of heaven, but everything here is marrying everything.
What's this type of poetry called where it's, the first line has the word columns and then she does columns? Was there a name for that?
So there's poetry that is, that where the shape of the poetry
Yeah.
is important, yeah, and,
I don't know the name.
I can't
Thea
remember
would
the
know the name of
name,
it.
yeah, right, I can't remember the name of it off the top, but it's like structured poems or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Where the shape of the poem is also part of the poem.
Yeah, it
Yes,
sends a message.
exactly, right, and you hit right there on it, the columns, and then you have the two columns.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
May I make just a phonetic thing about the Hebrew?
Yeah.
Because the chet is a guttural, it needs to be a chatach patach. You can't have a shiva underneath it.
Well, I,
What?
תחת החטא יש שבב וצריכים בחטא.
נכון, חטף פתח, מחזיקים.
אוקיי.
נכון,
Okay.
נכון.
so anyway, I just copied it from the Hebrew, so.
It's the Hebrew has vowels, okay?
Mhm.
We don't have it in English, but we have it in Hebrew. And the vowel that is underneath one of the letters
Right.
is not correct.
Okay,
Yeah, so whether that's her mistake or somebody who transcribed it here or something, I didn't pay attention to that, but yeah. So I just invite any other thoughts or responses. What does this do for you?
I think she's referring to the sky, the top as a chuppah. And underneath it, everything is marrying everything. Which I think is a beautiful
nice
image.
Yeah.
Right, so it is chuppah, it's translated as canopy, but it is like the word for the wedding
You know what
canopy,
hoopah
so,
means?
so the
Chuppah means
it's a little
That
canopy
we
where you
hold
stand under
over
Jewish
a
wedding.
couple who's getting married.
We had a hoopah at our second wedding.
So
People
these are,
that-
okay.
Yeah.
right, so it is sort of, so this sort of everything marrying everything in this word in Hebrew is part of that. Didn't capture that quite in the English, but,
So not
Not
only
all.
is there columns,
Right,
there's a covering
right,
Right.
for
right,
these two things.
exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah,
right, right.
it is cool. Yeah.
And so this idea of everything marrying everything here is marrying everything.
We're all related.
Exactly, we're all related.
We are all
all
connected, all
It
connected.
doesn't matter what kind of creatures we
Yep.
are, or plants or whatever, we're all interconnected, so it's just beautiful, I think, yeah. Okay, let's see. We're not gonna have any time for anywhere near all of these, let's do the next one, you wanna read, Rob?
Yeah, absolutely. It's about children. I hope where's children funny. Ingratitude, after all I have done for them, ingratitude is the term that springs to mind. Yet I continue to generate abundance, which they continue to waste. They expect me to go on giving forever. They don't believe anything I say with my wet, green, windy, hot mouth.
Wow.
Wild.
Right, so here, there's a switch here, which,
And it's
yes,
Gaia
okay,
thing.
so and I'm seeing Debbie writing and I'm realizing that I didn't ask you to start this poem that you're gonna be writing. So let's just take a minute and pause, and I just want any words that either you wanted to, that really struck you from the previous poem or this poem, or that just a word that's just come to your mind, just write the words down and just write, you can write them in any place you want on your page, but just whatever word, was there a word that you liked from the Messeg poem? This one by Alicia Ostracker, or just a word in our conversation, just write your word,
Just the word?
just the word.
Okay.
And then if there's another word, you can write that, and you can write it wherever you want on your page. You can make a
Okay.
list, you can put them all over the page, however you want to do it. Just whatever word has struck you.
Okay.
Either in conversation or from those poems.
It's my first poem ever.
Good. Okay, so this poem, it's the first one, the bliss, you do not see the columns of air. It's like you, she's speaking to us, like the poet is speaking to us, you, the reader, or you, whoever. But who's speaking in the next one?
Gaia.
Yeah, the guy.
She's pissed off.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Who's the
Right.
Gaia?
Gaia is the goddess of Mother Earth.
A Mother Nature kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
so this is like the earth speaking. Right. And so this is, there was a lot of sort of 19th, maybe early 20th century, very sort of pastoral poetry, especially coming out of, like, if you think of Wordsworth or, things like this sort of, just this beauty of being out in the nature and everything. But here, and so it's from our perspective of being out there. But here, what we're getting is this shift, and it's like, yeah, the poem is the earth.
And she's not happy.
Right, she's not happy.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like a parent with their children anyway,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yes, you're right, it does really,
Yeah,
yeah, right, they expect me
exactly.
to go on giving forever. I was like, kid, what do you think, I'm gonna keep giving you? Exactly,
Yeah, my
right.
ATM machine.
Right, exactly.
But
Yeah.
then in the very end, it becomes with my wet, green, windy, hot mouth. It's like, wait a minute.
Setting the boundaries.
Yeah, and it becomes
The hot mouth is
Cola.
probably the fact that she says all these things, which are not nice. They're not nice.
their storms. Their
Right, well, right, it would be
hurricanes.
fires,
Yeah, they're
fires or
and-
rising temperatures
Right,
or something, yeah,
Yeah,
right.
and that's why her mouth is hot.
Yeah, it's good.
Hot with all these
With-
negative things.
Anger about, yeah.
Yeah,
Or
Yeah.
just frustration.
Yeah.
yeah, frustration is
children.
part of it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Anything else?
It's a good one.
I think I like the idea of her talking about that.
Hmm,
Not just feeling it, but talking about it.
right, right. This is the earth, and putting into words something that the earth is
Yeah,
feeling.
right.
Yeah. So the next one, The Path to the Bench in the Snow by Hila Ratzabi, is by this poet who taught the class that I took.
She
So-
what?
She taught the class that I took. Yeah, you wanna
Want me to read it?
read it? Sure, yeah.
We listen to the river crack in the sudden sun. The snow is deeper than we thought, up to our knees. Each footprint a well from which we draw the words we need. The path to the bench in the snow must be imagined, and the mind must follow the ice to its core. It tells its millennial story to those with instruments to listen. We sit at the bench and look around at this place that we know and don't. Pristine mound of unprinted snow. That feels very abstract to me.
Yeah, what do
Yeah.
what do you think she's saying? What do you feel like she's saying? I keep thinking and
Well, I
Not
think
always
he's
being-
being a witness to the bad things that are happening and naming them, like the dry river and how um snow is deeper, but I thought we were losing snow, so that confuses me.
Well, I'm not confused. I think she's thinking back about childhood and writing about it as an adult when there were mounds of snow.
Yeah,
That's another way of thinking about it, yeah.
Pristine, it seems to me like childhood.
But it can also be. It could be that, and it could also be some sort of. You know. Imagining kind
Yeah,
of
it
thing.
seems like what's going on now, like at this place we know, we don't. We thought we knew it. All these changes are taking place.
yeah, it's true.
I just want the snow. We didn't get much this year.
Yeah, right,
Good.
exactly. You know, and so it's interesting too, because she does these couplets all the way through, and then the last line
Mm,
is just one line.
Oh,
And so it sort of takes on a whole different kind of meaning because of it being just the single line.
Is a couplet a two line?
Yeah, the two lines, yeah, these just two line things of, and,
there's
and it's-
7 couplets.
nice.
What?
7 couplets, nice, like 7, our holy sacred number 7.
Hmm.
7 days of creation, 7 days of the week. But it's interesting because she talks about the snow is deeper than we thought. But then the path to this bench has to be imagined.
I know,
Mm,
yeah.
So
The
it's
transformation.
a transformation. Say a little more.
Well, I mean, snow transforms our world, so the landscape that we're so used to,
Yeah,
is hidden. But also wondrous at the same time. So you
yeah,
have to imagine where the path was. You know it's there, but
yeah.
you can't see it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's interesting. Oh, right. Okay, right. The path is underneath the snow. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
To me, it's a poem of wonder.
It is. Yeah, I agree.
I love the idea, each footprint a well on which we draw the words we need.
Yeah,
Mm,
right. That is a beautiful line. Yeah.
The last sentence just reminds you like of the beauty of it, of them, you know, when snow falls and nothing
Yeah,
has touched it, and it's
Yeah.
just really beautiful, like
Right.
pristine mound of unprinted snow.
Yeah. And there is,
unprinted.
yeah, there is
We have
maybe,
not touched it.
right, and maybe that's some kind of an allusion to, because then we know what happens to the snow after a while. It starts to melt and the
Yeah.
cars and it gets dirty and ugly and
Gray,
slushy and
slushy.
blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
But, right, but this sort of pristine world that we're turning into mushy, dirty snow, you know, is another possible.
I mean, could it also be a poem of loss? That this
think
is,
so.
this
I
is a
think so.
world that we won't know.
I
that we'll
think it
lose.
is, yeah, I think you're right, I think there's a grief in here, I think there's a, you know, it's millennial story. For those with instruments to listen is a, you know, this story that we're losing, yeah.
What do we know about Hila Ratzabi?
So she is, she's a poet and a writer and an editor. She has her book, There Are Still Woods, that was given some awards. She's currently the director of communications at North Shore Congregation Israel in Glencoe, Illinois. She was the editor of Ritual Well for a long time before she
Oh.
took this job, yeah. And she teaches through Ratzabi, the Jewish poetry collective. So she's had some poems published in, you know, in literary journals and stuff too, so she's written a fair amount. I didn't list here all the things that she's good. She's terrific.
I think it also, you said grief, which was a key word for me, but I also heard strength.
Bless you.
Yes, yes,
It
There's
tells
what?
its
Can you repeat that?
there's grief, but there's also strength.
Yeah,
because it tells its millennial story to those with instruments to listen.
yeah.
And, it takes time to build the instruments to listen because of loss and living and
Yeah,
struggle and.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and this idea that we're looking around at this place we know and we don't know, there it's transformed by snow, but maybe we feel that way about, something in our neighborhood that has been changed by something, or I mean, we can think of all kinds of situations. Okay, let's go to the next one. So this is, first, okay, before we go on, just whatever words, to pick out whether words from this that struck you that you want to add to your page, or words that came up in our conversation that you want to add to your page. And just, you can make a list, or you can put them wherever you want on your page. To just put the next words of your poem. The next one, Way Too Late, by Monica Gomery, and she's the rabbi and writer who has published several books of poems, and she's the rabbi and music director at Cold Tzedek Synagogue.
Where?
Cold Tzedek Synagogue in Philadelphia.
Oh.
And she's taught in the faculty of Sabina, which is the traditionally radical yeshiva, and she also hosts a poetry salon in Philadelphia. Way too late for elegies about the earth, too late to speculate about orangutans and osprey and a car flooding down that filthy chocolate river German street with a sticker on its bumper saying, "Fuck you, Greta." Too late for compost eco poem, too late to list the glaucous green taxonomies and call them other than eulogies, to find out later the bumper sticker was a fraud, but not the flood.
Very angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so this one is like a
Right.
there was the one with the earth being angry, but this is the speaker, the poet being angry.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all just so,
What's the
Terrible.
use?
yeah, it's
just
just
like,
all
Yeah.
too late, too late, too late.
I don't understand how the bumper sticker was a fraud. Like a bumper sticker is a fait accompli.
Could have been the content on the bumper sticker, it's misleading.
Kind of related it to contemporary politics, that Trump says a lot of things that aren't true at all, they're all a fraud. But
Oh,
then, I mean,
I
not
didn't
that it's
think they
related to the
misspelled
poem
her
at all.
name. They gave her 2 T's. That's all I saw.
Greta as in Greta Thunberg.
Yeah, there's only 1 T.
Yeah, right, so, yeah, why it's with two, I'm not
By
sure.
the way, she's on her way to Israel.
I
Did you
know,
know
to
that?
Gaza.
Wow.
Yeah, to Gaza, okay.
This is just this sheer anger about what's happening, and, the bumper sticker being a fraud. It's basically, the bumper sticker is basically being is a climate denial kind of
Oh.
thing. Cause, because it's like saying, okay, you who are out there saying that this is such a problem, I'm not interested in you, go away, you're bad. And as though by saying that, the problem could be not happening or something. And what does it mean that it was a fraud? I mean, it's not real, okay, on some level.
I have a question.
Yeah,
This is all new to me, so these might be silly
yeah,
questions,
no,
but
no silly, no such thing.
is there any reason why in this particular poem, it starts with all lowercase letters?
Right, so there are lots of different styles that people use, and you can basically do whatever you want.
Okay.
And sometimes, right, so it's really open to being able to write it in the way that feels like it is conveying what you want to convey.
Okay, great.
And so, yeah.
Thank you.
And what's interesting here, and I was thinking maybe I made a mistake. I don't know when I copied it or something, but it's almost like the title is part of the poem. Because of the way too late, basically, sometimes the title is really separate, but here it's like way too late for elegies
Yeah.
about the earth. The
Goes right-
title
yeah.
really leads you into the poem, and they are sentences, there are periods, and there are capitals. So it's really, probably would have been, I should have set it up a little bit differently or something, but. I don't
There's
remember.
one comma.
Yeah, right. I mean, so there's punctuation, but, and capital letters, but not necessarily at the beginning of this line, right, which is totally allowed, yeah.
And the only two words with capital letters both begin with G.
Yeah,
I
right,
noticed that.
German and Greta, that's right, yeah, and then too late, and, yeah.
Interesting.
So anybody else have any other feelings or responses to that poem? And you can take a minute and just write down a word or two that jumped out at you.
Right.
Oh, we're gonna run out of time, okay. Yeah, so just write down a word or two that struck you from that poem or the conversation. So I'm gonna skip the next one, but I just do want to tell you about it, which is that and you can, maybe we'll just read it, but then just go on to the next one. I mean, so this guy, Tuvia Rubiner, I mean, he died a couple years ago, I'm not sure, but he was a Holocaust survivor,
Mhm.
and, I think he was the only one in his family who survived. But he started he used the devastation of the Holocaust to talk about how we need his way of looking at the world, but also how we need to be better people as opposed to sort of, which is how he, we need to work for a better world. But he kept writing poetry, and he was 92 when he wrote this poem,
Oh.
which was, 2015, 16, when there was stuff going on in Gaza then. So what's interesting about this poem is that it feels like it could have been written today, but it was written, it was written 10 years ago. So it's like, things keep coming back. So,
Did he write it in Hebrew? Or
yeah, his language is Hebrew, yeah.
do we have the original somewhere?
I'm pretty sure he was right, because he was in Israel, so you know what, I said that, but I'm not 100% sure. They started, and so we sowed and seeded their lands till there sprouted like wildflowers, babies, mother and father none. Women like sea winds search for their sons among the ruins, as far as the horizon, dark and demeaned, trembling, banished from the sky, smoothly emptying, no shadow, no place to cover faces in shame. There's no hiding from ourselves because we cannot stop and compromise. A donkey smothers its head in the sand, its forelegs kicking in the air until it cannot. The gnarled hands of the old are outstretched like a shadow toward the birds of prey and the fire day after day. And every night in this chicken dirt, there's not, and not is. Slain upon slain, tree beside tree, and a girl skipping at the finish line. So clearly, this was written about, this war zone situation, but by bringing in all of these various images of, like sea winds and wildflowers, sowing and seeding their lands, wildflowers, the sky, the donkey kicking its legs in the air, the birds of prey, the fire, the chicken dirt, the tree beside tree. There's all these images of the natural world that are woven into this. And so we get this poem that is both holding these sort of really beautiful images of nature together with these images of war. Kind of a mixed thing.
Was he a musician?
I don't, not that I know of.
Because there's a repetition with two, and one, babies, and then mother and father.
Yeah.
And he does that again,
Right.
not, and not is, at least
Yeah.
3 times, day after day and every night.
Right, and ruins. Yeah, you're right, he's definitely putting music in, into the poetry. Yeah, there's like a rhythm in it. Yeah.
And the girl skipping at the finish line seems so out of place.
It's this
I
thing.
don't know where it came from. I don't know what it means.
I think, go ahead, yeah.
I was just gonna say that, there's such terrible strife and yet children can find something to play with.
Right,
And
Yeah.
it's so juxtaposed to
It is.
what the adults see that's happening.
yeah, and I think we
That's what
sometimes
it
can
is.
see those pictures in, news photographs, and sometimes there'll be a picture of a kid doing something, playing in the
Playing in
midst
this deserted
midst of
dirt thing, but
ruins.
making a game.
Right, because that's how kids,
So, yeah.
That's how they
dear.
communicate.
how they live, how
But
they,
what finish line? What does that mean?
yeah,
That's juxtaposing like a race
yeah,
with a war.
yeah. At the finish line, right? What's the finish
The
line?
race for power, and
Yeah,
resources, and
Yeah,
poignant.
Could be very
very,
simple.
very. Okay, the Adrian Rich one is wonderful, but we're gonna run out of time, and I want to do the Toad Dreams one on the back by Marge Percy.
Oh,
Because, I think she doesn't need an introduction. She's such a prolific, incredibly prolific writer and poet and activist and feminist and all that kind of stuff. So does somebody else want to read this one?
I'll read it.
Okay,
You want me to read the paragraph?
yeah,
Okay. Toad Dreams by Marge Piercy. That afternoon, the dream of the toads rang through the elms by a little river and affected the thoughts of men, though they were not conscious that they heard it. Henry Thoreau. The dream of toads. We rarely credit what we consider lesser life with emotions big as ours, but we are easily distracted, abstracted. People sit nibbling before television's flicker, watching ghosts chase balls and each other, while the skunk is out risking grisly death to cross the highway to mate, while the fox scales the wire fence where it knows the shotgun lurks to taste the sweet blood of a hen. Birds are greedy little bombs bursting to give voice to appetite. I had a cat who died of love. Dogs trail their masters across continents. We are far too busy to be starkly simple in passion. We will never dream the intense wet spring lust of the toads. Wow.
the American toads. Where I live, when they're all calling and, calling for a mate, it's like a symphony, it's like a cacophony.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
I have heard that in the past
yeah, yeah,
years ago.
right. Intense, right?
it's really intense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's amazing, and it's beautiful, and it's familiar,
yeah,
And I
because you
think-
could hear it every year at the
Yeah,
same time.
yeah.
I used to think it was birds at night. I couldn't figure out what the noise was until I realized it was toads.
It's kind of otherworldly,
Yeah.
like
Because birds don't sing like
spring
that.
feeders, they're like peep, peep, peep. And then the wood frogs start, and they have that sort of more of a croak, and then the American toads start, and they're the ones that have that sort of otherworldly kind of like, and when you multiply it by thousands
Yeah,
of amphibians, it's like
Yeah, well,
a little bit alien almost.
yeah.
So,
Passion.
so,
Our passion is for profit.
right, so this one, right, yeah. I love this poem because it's just sort of saying, we just don't think about what these other creatures,
Are going through.
what they don't, we just don't.
We don't relate
We're
to them.
very, we separate ourselves and tend to get to be very self-centered and thinking and, as we're saying, watching the TV while they're out, risking their lives and trying to stay alive and, all these things and all the made harder by everything that we're doing to the world. So I just invite you to put, we're just about out of time, but just to put down any other words that either I forgot to give you time after the Gaza one, either from that one or from this one, to put those onto your page, and then I just invite you to read through this group of words that you have written on your page. And if anybody's feeling brave and would like to read it out loud, I invite you to do so.
Why not?
Sure, okay, go for it.
I'm learning, so it's a good way to learn.
That's great. That's a great experience.
Thank you. Gratitude, yet I continue to generate. Later, that bumper sticker was fraud. Babies born, mother and father none. We rarely credit what we consider lesser life with emotions big as ours. The last sentence really resonated with me because I get so wrapped up in my own illness that I forget other people have other illnesses out there
Yeah.
that could be bigger, more challenging, and my friends are always reminding me of that,
Yeah.
which
yeah.
I'm grateful
But
of.
that's what I love about that is that you start with this word gratitude, and then the last thing that you have was the line. Okay.
We really credit.
Yeah, we rarely
Yeah.
credit. So it's like this sort of inversion thing. You're starting with gratitude, and then we don't really give credit where credit's due at the end.
Yeah.
So it's it comes together nicely. You got yourself a poem.
Oh, first one, yay! First one ever. Yeah.
Oh,
If you want, you can take it home and ponder it and think about if you want to make any changes to it. Anybody else want to read what you've got on your paper?
well,
Be brave.
I am.
Okay, good. Peer pressure.
I wrote a poem years ago called Mother Mountain.
Yeah.
About my life as a mother parenting a chronically ill child. So I can't remember all the poem, but it brought that back to me. And the words, I drew a mountain, and the words under it I wrote grief, strength, commitment, struggle, poignant. Because it represents that's the
That was
mountain.
your world.
That's the mountain.
And
Mhm.
and those were all in all of these
Yeah.
poems. Yep. Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love it the way you put it together.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else want to?
think David Abel at lunchtime, is that
Oh,
okay?
fine.
Okay. Canopy of heaven, marrying everything. We are unraveling our life support system. Maybe that doesn't fit there.
Yeah.
Abundance, waste, don't believe. Millennial story, each footprint a well, must be imagined, a place we know and don't. Eulogies, slain upon slain, tree beside tree. We rarely credit what we consider lesser life.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You see, this is how these are your thoughts and feelings, and you're just putting them down, and it
Yeah,
comes together, and
comes
you've got
together.
something beautiful. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
these are great.
Sources are beautiful.
They are, right. It's called a found poem. When you take bits of other poems, you can take bits from writing, you can take a word or a sentence or a phrase or whatever from other places, and you put it together to create something new and different. It's called a found poem.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
And when you said don't believe, believe is my word. It's like a gazillion of them in my home. When you said don't believe, it just was like, no, I have to believe that. It's what keeps me going sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. You want to share a feeling?
Well, it doesn't feel like a poem.
That's okay.
Marrying everything in gratitude. Snow is deeper than we thought. Pristine mound of unprinted snow. Bumper sticker was a fraud. Babies, babies, mother and father none, day after day and every night, and a girl skipping at the finish line. We will never dream the intense wet spring lust of the toads.
Wow.
That's a poem.
Wow,
Yeah,
Beautiful.
delivery,
It's a beautiful.
make like it is.
It's a beautiful, you wrote something in Hebrew. You want to
did.
share it?
Oh, בעברית,
Yeah, but
בבקשה.
it's not a poem.
Well,
It's
she said hers wasn't either, so that's okay. Just read the words.
canopy above a, it said something there about a mound. a brilliant site without any,
Unprinted snow, is that the one? Mount
yeah,
Unprinted
yeah,
Snow?
yeah. Without any
Footsteps, footprints.
footprints. Dirty river, frogs in the river.
Yeah. So you go from the canopy, the footprints in the snow and then this dirtiness and then back to the frogs. So
Right.
It's a nice
Yeah.
combination. So you go with yourself a little eco poem
Well, thank you so much.
and, yeah, I invite you
This
to
was great.
continue to, just explore, there's lots of things that fall under the category, the broader category of eco poetry, as you mentioned, Mary Oliver's classic and, Wendell, Barry and Barry. And, lots of great people, so I just invite you to explore and. I don't. That one was here, I think. Okay.
This is yours.
I think we're gonna, yeah, I think.
Yes, it is.
So, thank you all for coming.
Well done, Katie.